Hello everybody, you're welcome to my channel once again. I've got a special guest here with me and a special friend by the name Toyin Popoola. You're welcome, Mr. Toyin.
Thank you very much.
Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too.
The topic we are dealing with today has to do with about being a music director in a church. What does it entail, So, and I've got a special friend here. He's been a music director for over 30 years. Can you imagine? So, from the wealth of his experience, he's going to be sharing with us some of the things we need to know, the challenges, how to do this, and that. Don't let me just get ahead of it. So, how many choirs do you think you've worked with so far?
I've not really counted them before, but now that you're asking, I can remember in my secondary school, then in the university, then when I went for youth service in Bauchi State in Nigeria, and the church that I was with at some point, and when I changed the church, obviously, and so I've been maybe in 6 or 7 different places.
Wow, that's good. That's good. Then how long have you been in the music industry?
Okay, I started quite early, as you know, over 35 years actually. Wow. And I played my first professional music when I was age 15 or 14. Wow. The reason why I said professional is because I was paid. Yeah, and I was paid 5 naira. I don't know the equivalent of that in pound sterling.
In pound sterling.
But I was paid 5 naira, which was a lot of money. It took me almost 2 weeks to finish spending the money.
Okay, so whatever you can spend in 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money there.
As a young boy, yes.
Okay, good. Now, what are your experiences been so far? Playing the musical instruments. Let me start from there first. How many musical instruments do you play? Let me ask.
Well, actively right now, I only play one. But I started off on the guitar. Yeah, in my local church, Salem Baptist Church, many decades ago. So I left the guitar, I started playing the drums, and basically you touch every instrument because everything is around you. You're looking at all of them. So you try this one, maybe next service you try the other one, and we have enough time as a young boy to be able to practice. The brain is still not filled with paying bills, so the brain is actually very active, so we can load as many information as possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, getting closer to being a music director, has there been any positive influence of having learned the musical instruments? Does it have any positive impact in being a music director?
Absolutely. You make a better music director if you learn or know how to play 1 or 2 musical instruments. Yeah. Because as a musical director, you are directing music, and the best way to direct something is to understand what you're directing. Okay. So if you're directing music, you better know how to play music, so that you are speaking the same language with the people that you are leading or directing. Yeah, so you need to be on the same page. So if you're talking to people in music, you should use musical language, and if you're not musical, then it will be difficult. We just be providing leadership or pastoral leadership, not musical leadership. So those are 2 different things.
Now, 2 words crossed my mind now: music director, choir director. Have you at any point had to sing?
Oh yeah, definitely. Actually, at some point in my life, I had to do a 1-man band where I will play, use every beat on the keyboard, and also sing. Play in parties, lead worship in fellowships, and some other places. So I've led worship before. I've led singing in a neutral place, not necessarily in churches. So yeah, I've led singing before. I've played and sang before. So yeah.
That's good. And obviously, does that influence being a music director or a choir director?
Absolutely. Choir director directs choir. What does the choir do?
They sing.
They sing. So if you know how to sing, it's an advantage. If you know how to play, it's a double advantage. So when you are leading choir, you are teaching, or you are conducting a choir in a concert or in a rehearsal, then you know when somebody is sounding out of tune or out of key. And you can tell the instrument that that's
Okay.
not tuned or that's not properly
Okay.
played. So you know what you're doing, you understand what they're doing, and when they do well, you also understand to give them credit when they have done well.
So 2 words now. Can there be one word for both roles? Music director, choir director. Can we have one? Is it possible? I'm just thinking now.
No, it's an hybrid role. And what I mean by hybrid is that they could be used synonymously or simultaneously. You can use either of them for other one, and it depends on the organization or the church that you are dealing with. If it's a church that is quite buoyant, you can have a music director and have a choir director separately. But if you have a church that is not that big or they're not financially buoyant, they could actually combine the role of a music director and a choir director.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Now, how do you, as a choir director or music director, so I'm going to use them interchangeably now.
Go for it.
How do you recruit people into the choir?
Okay. Incidentally, I've had few opportunities to recruit.
Yeah.
Most of the time, you are there, and they need a music director. So, which means they already have people, but occasionally you need to add on to the people who are already there. So most times, people like the choir say, "Oh, we also want to join the choir," and I find out some people just want to join the choir because they think they can sing, not that they can sing. That even when you conduct an audition, they sing so badly that you are thinking, how would this person ever think that they can sing? But they are so convinced that they can sing, maybe because they sing at home or in the bathroom, and somebody say, "Oh, you sing well." So there are some categories of people. So when I conduct auditions, I try to get the best out of the person to be sure that they can sing to key, to rhythms, and they have understanding of what singing is all about. Not a show off, not that they want to prove something, but because they have a heart to sing or a heart of worship.
Okay. This just prompted me to remember few occasions that I had to do auditionings for choirs. I've done about quite a few too. I was so shocked that there's some people that they thought they can sing, and I had to send them out.
Yeah, sure.
I could remember a friend's church. Then we in Nigeria. Then we had to audition for choir. We spent hours doing that. And you remember the concerts we had, the New Covenant Church concert for that
National Praise Day.
National Praise Day. We had to audition
all
around
the country.
Around the country.
The UK,
yeah. It was quite an enormous task.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we conducted auditions throughout the United Kingdom of the branches of the church at the time, and it was quite interesting. A lot of people came out for audition, and I mean, you will laugh your head off because some people will just sing and you're thinking, okay, are you about to start, or you are rounding up, or you think you can sing, or they told you can sing? Yeah.
But now, what do you do in such cases? I mean, they think they can sing, and they kind of say, what do you do in a church, in a resident church that you are as a music director? What do you do to such people? Yeah.
What I've done in the past is not to discourage them, because we are not in the ministry of discouraging people.
Yeah.
Some of them can be groomed to be better with some music lessons. Some of them are no way. It's like, don't even think about it, don't dream to sing. So what I do for such people is to counsel with them, sit with them and see what talent they have. And in some instances, I've had to introduce them to the ushering department to say that I've got a new member for you that will be very useful in the ushering team. So I will tell them, so while you are ushering or while you are there, you can enjoy worshiping God while the music is going, and you can sing on top of your voice. We wouldn't mind whether you are singing off key or on key. So go ahead with it, but not leading the choir or singing in the choir.
Yeah. And unfortunately, you found out that there are some other people in such departments in the church, maybe ushering or prayer, and they can sing, but they refuse to come to join the main team.
Yeah, you are very much on point. I've listened to people in the church and they're singing so well. I've had to actually approach some people myself. I've done that a few times, and I was successful on some occasions, and
Yeah.
they are so happy that they joined the choir.
Yeah.
Some of them, they just need someone to give them a nudge to say, oh, you can sing, come and join the choir, and we will encourage them. And they do very well eventually. But there are some people you go to, they said they know they can sing, but because of other commitments, like their jobs and other things they do, they would not be able to commit themselves to be able to sing in the choir.
That has been a challenge. I've experienced that as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
There are some you just have to, maybe you think, maybe we can bring you in from time to time.
Occasionally, actually, talking about that, I have to start a choir for men and start another one for women. So they only do occasional events. So you just bring the men's, we call it men's choir. So those are professionals who don't really have time to be committed to everyday regular choir, and they love it. And on those occasions, you get the best from them, and everybody likes it. So that's the way it is.
Now let's assume you're called upon to start a choir. What are the requirements that you will put out there for anybody to join that choir?
The most important thing is,
especially a contemporary church choir.
Yes, basically you will need to get people who are passionate about singing, but not just passionate. You must be gifted, or you must be talented, or you must be a singer. There's a rhetoric. I saw a book somewhere. It says, if you can talk, you can sing. It sounds good, but it is not true, as we all know. So I want to let them know that it's not just being passionate, because there are some people who are passionate, but they are not really good singers. So I would want with people who have the heart to sing, who has the passion to sing, and who can sing. So auditioning process is basically asking you to sing and listening to you properly, and from experience you'll be able to say if this person could make it to the team, could be trained. There are some people that are not there yet, but you can see passion, and they are not out of key, and they can learn, and they can improve.
My challenge is some of them can sing melody, but sometimes it's so difficult for them to sing parts, and they're passionate, they really want to sing, but in case you're needing people to sing harmonies, what do you do?
Well, nobody's born with harmony. I remember the first times I tried to harmonize a song somebody was singing as a teenager. The person was very upset with me because I was harmonizing the song so badly. And I was not getting it, but I kept at it. So sometimes we're not born with it, it's something we learn. So someone who has a ear for music should be able to learn it if you teach them. So what I used to do at some point, when I teach people parts, those who don't know parts at all, I will teach them separately.
So how do you do that? How do you teach parts?
I will teach them separately their parts.
Maybe the alto. In terms of how do you go about it?
So if I've written the soprano or the melody part of the song, and I've written out the alto and the tenor.
In what form do you write it out?
Let's say TV, soprano, alto, tenor, and bass. I write in sofa notation
most
of the time. But most contemporary choirs, you don't really need to write that out now. All you need to do is learn it by ear, just play it on the piano and ask them to sing.
So the tonic sofa is for you to document
exactly, to write it
the melodic line or the harmonic line, how it's gone.
Exactly.
So that you can be able to play it out
for them to learn it. So when you play it for them, and at some instances I've had to actually play it and record it for them on their phones to keep repeating that tone over and over until they learn it. And when everybody comes together, it's easy for them to learn. But these days, people sing. When they listen to the song, they actually could pick out their part, those who can sing. But some people need some help. And if they do it for a few songs, after a while, they get used to singing harmony. I know someone like that didn't know how to sing harmony before, also. And she would say, I don't know how to sing also. I said, don't worry. And I was able to teach her. After a while, if she's even talking, she will talk in alto. So she got so used to singing.
We need to hear that.
She's just got used to singing altos. Anywhere, any song, the first thing that comes out of her mouth is alto. As a matter of fact, when we asked her to start leading worship,
she was ad-libbing in alto.
In alto.
So that's another case, another trouble created. Solving one and
Exactly, creating multiple.
multiple. Now now okay, that's fine. There was a time you taught your choir to sing Hallelujah chorus.
Yes.
A contemporary church choir.
Yeah.
How did you do that? To sing a classical piece that tedious?
Yeah, it was a challenging season because the senior pastor at the time heard the song and he had the program in mind, and he told me, Toyin, I want the choir to sing this song. I just laughed. I said, this is a contemporary choir. They're not used to singing classical songs or classical music. He said, well, it doesn't matter if it's just the first part.
Yeah.
It doesn't mind if it's just the first half of the song or the last part of the song. And I'm looking, how would you sing a part of Hallelujah chorus and not finish the rest? It doesn't make any sense. In other words, it's telling me you don't have a choice. You have to sing this song. And I told the choir, I played it for them. They were looking at me like,
what's going on?
What is he talking about? And they said, let's be honest, you've told us we can sing any song, but this one, we cannot sing it. And I said, don't worry, we'll do it in a way. So I broke down the song into several sections.
Yeah.
So maybe a rehearsal, I will teach them the first section. I will teach them another section.
Are you playing the notes directly for them to hear, or how did you go about it?
Yeah, well, I rewrote it out from the score.
Yeah.
And I wrote it in solfa notation.
Yeah.
So I was teaching them the solfa notation.
Oh.
So today we might just did maybe the first page.
Yeah.
And I will ask them to repeat it so everybody's getting used to it.
Yeah.
So another rehearsal, I will teach them another part. There was a rehearsal, I taught them the last part of the song. Just to give them an idea of how
the ending,
how the song. So it's like they know the end from the beginning.
Yeah.
So they were so fascinated. Oh, it's not that difficult. So I will look for some parts where there's some counterpoints and all the rest. I'll teach them that part, and I'll come back to some other part. So the day we were to bring all of them together, they could not believe they were able to sing it. But it took a lot of dedication. We did it within 2 or 3 weeks.
Wow.
And we were doing all night. I was doing private coaching for some of them to make sure that they get it. It was tedious, but they
really desired to, and you actually supported them.
Absolutely, yeah.
I can remember there was a time I had to teach some children at Hallelujah chorus too. Now what I did was, I did a scaled down version of it. I was just following the melody all through.
Oh dear.
I was just following the melody right through. I just made maybe 2 parts and thereabout.
Okay.
So whenever I change it to the bass, they all sing it. When it goes we all go around, and that was how we went through the entire song.
Wow.
But a simplified version.
That's an experience.
I don't think I want to do that again.
No way. I can't teach children. I don't think so. No way.
Now, how do you teach simple songs and complex songs as a choir director? Looking back into your experiences with some of those techie songs.
To be honest, I really don't see songs as technical or difficult.
So
I guess the intention of the person who wrote the song is not to make it difficult.
Yeah.
But it's just somebody who is expressing his dexterity, or somebody who is trying to showcase how much chords or how much lyrics he wants to tell people about, or what story he wants to tell people. So it might look technical, but to the person who wrote the song, it will be easy. It's you that is just trying to learn it that it will be difficult for. You understand what I'm saying? So difficult songs, yes, it's faster to learn and easier to learn. Difficult songs, maybe it's because it's long, it has more chords or more technical chords that is difficult for people to sing because they're not used to singing this chord, they're not used to singing 7th chords, you know. So what I try to do is to do my own work as a music director. That's why all the work lies on the music director, to break it down to chewable sections. Just like you want to feed a child, you need to break the food down for what they can absorb at a time. So if you divide it into sections that are easy enough for them to understand, then it will be easier. So I think it's the approach of us introducing songs to people that makes the difference. So if you make it sound as difficult, then it's going to be difficult.
I remember some of the time we were discussing, you said that some parts, you know how complex it is. So you go and digest that, then you represent it to them in a way that they can just be able to absorb it easily.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you don't necessarily teach them right from the beginning. You go to the areas that are crackable, and the areas that are, so you, by the time you fragment the song and then bring it back together, it sounds so.
Or you give them it like a teaser, something that you know they will like, and once they like that part, they want to check the other part of the song, and they want to learn the song as a whole. So you bring a part of the song that's juicy, that they like, or that is related to what they are used to. Then when you teach them that they like it, they say, oh, let's finish the song. We have almost done, let's finish it. I've done that several times. I will say, let's finish. I say, no, don't worry, I don't want to give you too much at the time, so let's meet at the next one. So they are excited to come for the next rehearsal to learn the part of the rest of the song.
Good. You once had a choir.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember the name of the choir now.
Crusaders?
Yeah, Crusaders.
Okay.
How are you able to train them? There are a couple of young guys there, full of energy.
About 120 of them. Yes, Crusaders. Well, we didn't have to do so much work at that time because they're not really upcoming singers. These are guys that can sing. And they love to sing. So when they used to come around me, we would do some songs together. And I thought, oh, okay, let's form a choir, let's do crusades, let's do events. And they were so much on it, and they were very happy and excited.
Full of energy.
Yeah, so we brought them together, and you also were part. You played for us on some occasions. And they brought their friends. Everybody wants to be part of Crusaders, and we were doing concerts, we were making altar calls, and people were giving their lives to Jesus, and it was a good experience. So I didn't really do much. The only job I did was to choose songs. Most of them, they choose the songs and they bring the song and I say, okay, this is good. And they know the songs already. So they do the hard work, but I give them leadership. And I give them directions, and I organize events for them, manage the events, and I make sure that everything is successful.
Now, let me come to a non-musical question. Is about conflict resolution in choir.
Okay.
Do you see that? Do you experience that in your choir?
Oh, a lot. Once you have 2 or 3 people, even in a family setting, there's always conflict. So even between husband and wife, there's conflict every day. So, okay, so how do I resolve it?
How do you go about it as a music director? Should that be the skill of a music director, or? Okay,
definitely one of the key skills of leadership. As a music director, you are a leader, you are a manager, you are a coach, you are an instructor, you are a pastor.
Then they should be paid how much? How many roles in one?
I don't care how much you pay your music director, but you are still not paying them enough because you can't pay for what they do. Music directors don't just work when they are in church. They still work after church, and people call them. They still call their church choir members to tell them and to ask them to learn this song, to do this. So I know what I'm talking about. So we don't have a time that we work. We work around the clock. Most of the songs that we put together, we do it in the night. When everybody is sleeping, we are trying to sort out the part, listen to the song, to digest it, to make it chewable for the choir, so that when you teach them, you will know what you're doing. So,
okay, go on.
So about conflict resolution. It's part of life. We need to resolve conflict. And I've had so many approaches, and it depends on the people that I'm dealing with. But one thing that is important is, like John Maxwell said, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So when these guys know that you actually care about them and you love them sincerely, when there's conflict, if you give them a resolution, they will be able to take it because they know you are working at their interest. I will give you some instances. Like I'll tell them and say, the goal is more important than the role. So no matter what you're doing to support this work, the goal is to present a good song for worship. It doesn't matter who is leading, it doesn't matter who is playing the piano, it doesn't matter who is just looking at just cheering us, as long as we achieve the goal. So that already sets a baseline for them, and that makes all of them to love, to want to sing in the choir. There is this 2 people in my choir at a point, and they were having issues. They were fighting with each other that it was affecting the rest of the choir. And I just told them, I knew these people love to sing. I told the two of them, I said, listen, I don't want you to come for choir rehearsals until you resolve the issues between you. So once you resolve it, call me and tell me you've resolved it. And henceforth, I want you people to sit together in the rehearsals. Guess what? The next rehearsal I saw them, they said they've resolved the issue. They know, till today, even though I'm not in the church, they are best of friends. They still sit together anywhere in the choir.
That's a good one.
Yeah, so it's because they love to sing and they do not want anything to hinder them from singing in the choir.
Now, let me ask this critical question. How much work do you have to put in before a service, behind the scenes? I need to hear that. Now, this is a Sunday.
Okay.
You have a Sunday service. How much work? What do you do behind the scene?
There are so many things we do behind the scenes that you can't even say, apart from the fact that,
especially musically.
Yeah, it's a spiritual thing, so prayer is part of it. So let's leave prayer, since you said it's musically.
Yeah, the musical.
Obviously, you prepare the musicians to learn the songs, learn their lines. The pianists learn the lines. The bass guitarist.
Do you sometimes play the musical instrument as a musical director?
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I said it depends on the capacity of the church to pay. Setup. Yeah, so if they're able to pay, it's a separate role, but most of the time it's an hybrid. So you are music director, you are choir director, you are the pianist, and you are the choir teacher at the same time. So most of the time we do that role all together in one person. Yeah. So you prepare the musicians, you prepare the choir to make sure everybody knows.
You send the songs to them.
Absolutely, they
learn your part as a keyboardist.
Yeah, you learn your part. You make sure everybody knows their part. You rehearse with them to be sure that they know their part. Then the choir gets their part, and the choir and the musicians rehearse together to make sure that everything synchronizes very well. So it's a lot of work. That's just part of it. There are some lead singers that I've had to go to their house or bring to my house and rehearse on the piano at home, so that I go through the part, because they're not really getting it properly at the last rehearsal. So you need to do one-on-one with them, coaching. So you need to make sure everybody gets their part, and that's not even the issue. When you are even doing it on the stage, that's a lot of it, because you don't know what's going to happen. Yeah. Everything you've been learning for a few days, you will do it in 5 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely right.
So that's when the adrenaline and everybody is like, oh, immediately the song finishes, that's when you finish your job. That's when the preparation finishes, to be honest. Because until they deliver a good job of your effort, you are still not comfortable until everybody says, yes, that's a good song, or people begin to worship, or the purpose of the song is achieved. That's when you are happy.
From my own little experience as well, you discover that to learn one song might take you 2 hours just to fix your lines, and God help you if there are more than one keyboard lines in the music. Or you need have a brass line, then you need 2 keyboards sometimes to do that. And the drummer has got to do that. Now, God help you if there are no percussions in the instrument, in the music. I've discovered that some other musicians, they learn songs and they have percussions playing there. Absolutely. Because the percussion is playing something different, and the drums have to balance it out with them. What the drummer plays is quite different. Now, when the drummer strictly learn his drum parts in a band where there are no percussions, then the music still sound empty.
Absolutely.
So you have to work with the drummer to redefine the drum lines so that they can fill up the space, the percussion that is missing out. And then if you don't have a bass player,
so you're in trouble. You play the bass on the keyboard, you split and left, you are playing on the right the piano, you put strings underneath it, and
so during performance as a choir director, then you become a keyboardist there and then.
You are a keyboardist during the performance. So you are part of the performance.
So you have to switch your brain here and there.
And incidentally, the other people are looking up to you. So even though you are the keyboardist, but you are still leading the band with your body language. If you do this, they know you are happy with them. Smile, then they are encouraged, they go on. And if they are messing up and your face is like, oh no, what's going on here? So your body language still directs them, even though you are performing the role of a keyboardist.
What a complex job.
It's a
what
complex job.
job.
That's why I said no matter how much you're paying your music director, you are still not paying them enough. So let's just leave it at that, and because they enjoy the job, they love the job.
Yeah.
That's why most people are playing music. It's not because it's a lot of money. There's no money in music, trust me. Yeah. Except you release an album that you sell millions, or you have millions of views in 24 hours, maybe you'll be talking. But basically, go and ask everybody that plays music or music directors. It's because of the love of music, not because it pays highly. No way.
Wow, it's been awesome today. It's been awesome. Thank you so much, Toyin. I understand that you're also a life coach as well.
Yeah, I'm a performance coach.
Performance coach. Good. How does that impact being a choir director? Does it have any?
Absolutely, it's beautiful. And when I went for that course with Coaching Academy to become a performance coach, that really changed the dynamics of the way I teach people. Actually, I stopped teaching. I started coaching. And instead of putting so much hours into teaching and teaching, I changed the direction to coaching. And the coaching style actually helped me. I was not exerting so much energy anymore. I was using their skill to give out the best that they can give, and in turn they are improving. And while they were improving, they are independent and they can actually do without me.
I've experienced that as well. I think I would prefer coaching to teaching people because it's what's inside. You're just going to help them bring out.
Exactly. So coaching style is the best if you understand what you're doing and you're able to communicate properly to the people. You will get the best out of them, and at the end of the day you will not use so much effort and power to teach or train them. So they will be independent, they will learn faster, and they will become a team that can perform, just like a football team. You don't see the coach coming on the field to play with them, but he's just there to give them guidance, to support them, and to make sure he give the best guy the best role, and to make everybody to perform to their optimum. I
think we need to have a new name for that role in the church. I think director is little. Now, do we call it choir coach?
Oh dear, yeah. Well, whatever the nomenclature, it still does not define the job. It's quite complex. It's a complex job.
Wow, thank you so much again. Thank you so much. Viewers, thank you for staying on with us, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. There are loads of things we're sharing here on this channel, and I want you to like this video. I really want to read your comments, and I want you to ask questions, and I'm still going to bring him back on some other occasions to do some practical demonstrations for us. So thank you so much, Mr. Toyin. See you another time.
All right, then. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye for now.
Yeah.